How to get out of a rut. So whenever you have these periods where the momentum has been good, right? You've been doing all the tasks on time, the consistency is on point, you're sleeping early, you're waking up early, doing all the tasks, the to do is all ticked, it's getting completed. That like there's a momentum with it, right? But the thing is, in real life there's a point where that momentum breaks at some point. And when that momentum breaks, many of us tend to fall in something which is called a rut. So what's a rut? A rut is a period where it's imagine it's like a black hole where you go in it and it's very hard to come out of it. And doing any tasks in the rut feels like extremely hard, and you are in this constant cycle of comfort and self pleasure, basically. So how can one now, let's just say you've been in a rut. Now how can you come out of it as fast as possible? If you want to be successful in life, right, you need to increase the time where you're productive, or you're focused on your goals, and you have to maintain the momentum as long as you can. And the frequency of those momentums should be more than the frequency of your ruts. Take that in again. The frequency of those momentums need to be more than the frequency of the ruts. So if you have longer ruts compared to the productive periods, then obviously you won't be able to achieve whatever goals you have set out for yourself. So there are a few things which I do whenever I get stuck in a rut. Number one, going the opposite route. That is, you run the opposite way. What do I mean by that? So in a rut, what typically you do? You start consuming dopamine a lot. It's like a dopamine overload. Your brain cells are fried. You have no motivation to do anything. Every morning you wake up, it's just like you grab your phone or whatever it is, the earliest dopamine source, and you're on it. What happens is this crashes your dopamine every single day and brings it below the baseline level. So now you need more and more dopamine every single time to stimulate the same emotion. So to recover this, you need to completely stop the dopamine. This includes every single social media, YouTube, any random thing. Like it's even news actually. News is a huge dopamine source of dopamine, because in news we have a bias, and whenever something we support comes up, there's a dopamine hit in our brain, even though that it doesn't affect our life, but it's just we are getting manipulated. Just think about it, right? What use are you getting out of watching news? Is it changing your life? No. Is watching the news making you more knowledgeable? Not really. If you like, what's there to learn from the news? It's just rage bait, and they just try to grab headlines, right, and clicks. So all these kinds of cheap dopamine, quick dopamine, you need to eliminate. Now you would be like, but that's the thing which I've been doing and I've gotten stuck in it, right? So what you need to do is, suppose your rut is going on that night. You plan for the next day. You take your phone, you put it on aeroplane mode. You may put all your devices, electronic devices and things which you can access dopamine from, away, and you make it very hard to access them. So the next morning, even though you have been doing this bad habits in the rut consistently, your subconscious brain will be like, let me just grab the phone again. But your conscious brain, when it sees that tasks is harder to do, basically when your phone is on airplane, there's no notification, nothing which you have got. So you get this window of opportunity where you can realize before getting into the trap to basically do what you have planned instead of doing everything in an automated manner. So you do that, then find in the morning you work for 2 to 3 hours continuously on a hard task, right? And try to not try, no dopamine till 12 in the morning the next day. It is going to be extremely hard. Once you understand this concept, it will become really easy for you to follow it, right? The next day it's going to be really hard because dopamine baseline has crashed below normal levels. So it's like, even though you have slept and woken up, the dopamine still hasn't recovered. You need to give it 2 to 3 days of no dopamine consumption. That's when it recovers. So work till 12, no dopamine, nothing, and then you can maybe little bit you can check out some dopamine activities, but in very minimal this thing uh, quantity, or else your brain is going to crash again. You can set a timer or time limit for it, 10 to 15 minutes max, 12 once maybe, and then evening also caveat, do not check your phone in the like in the night or just before sleeping. It's again going to crash your dopamine levels. Whatever you have to do, get it done by 12 or like around 5 6 ish, okay? That is one thing. Then second is meditation. Meditation is, people don't realize how much meditation helps in taking the small decisions which compound over the time and help you in your life, right? Now what do I mean by that? When you start meditating, you notice that you have become more self aware, right? uh, like, unlike in normal days you just do things by your subconscious, you're automated, you just do tasks, and before you know it the day is over. You didn't do anything productive that day. When you start meditating, you start to notice every minute and every hour that goes by. That's the power of meditation. Because when you meditate, you're training your brain to focus. So it's very good for your focus, and especially if you have a brain like me, which is an ADHD brain, can't keep focus for more than like 5 to 10 minutes. Dopamine overloaded. It helps a lot. Start with 5 minutes of meditation every single day. Once you have built the consistency, stretch it to 6 minutes, and so on and so forth, right? So first you gotta drop the dopamine sources. Second, meditation. Now third is start journaling every single day about the tasks, the periods of the day where you were productive and the periods of the day where you were not. I know all this is extremely hard, but if you want to succeed and become something in life, you need to have some sacrifices. You're not going to get it just by being average. That's the truth. The success is meant to be hard, right? If the success was easy, everybody would be successful. So if you do all these three things, just three things, I can guarantee you within 2 days you'll come out of your rut and you'll be back on track. So try to have as many days of productivity as possible, and try to reduce your days of rut. These are the types of people who will eventually be winners. If you have more rut days, it's not possible for you to be a winner, bro. Like, there are killers these days. Like, they work for 12 hours, 13 hours non-stop. And if you are stuck in these loops of ruts where you're wasting entire days, sorry to say that I don't think so you'll make it. So, if you want to make it, then you have to sacrifice. You have to give up some things. You have to force yourself to do some things. There's a famous quote by Hamza Ahmed: "We do the hard work, especially when we don't feel like it." Like, not when you feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. When you make it a part of your identity, that's when the shift happens. That's when you do the hard things with the sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. Just like gym, right? You go and lift the heavy weights, even though it's hard, it hurts, but there's some kind of innate satisfaction in it, because you see the growth on your body, you see the gains, you know that at the end of the day there's a outcome from what I'm doing now. So so in the business and these kind of things, you won't see the outcome immediately, but it's a long game, right? So that's why we need to focus on the long vision and cut out the short vision.